What's up guys, my name is Jakub and this is going to be my first English video on YouTube. You can check my channel and you'll see that I made few videos in Czech because I'm from Czech Republic. But lately I've been thinking a lot and I've decided that I would like to share my knowledge with you guys, and thus I'll switch into English and I'll only keep like a Czech video series on my channel for my Czech audience. Czech. This first video is going to be about 3 simple tips how to improve your videos, and this is especially targeted for beginners because when I was beginning I wish I knew these tips. So let's get into it. Tip number 1, stop dreaming and start creating. And what I mean by that is not that you should give up on your dreams, by no means, but what happened a few times to me is that filmmakers send me a message and it might sound something like this. I would love to be creating amazing videos, how can I get better? And first thing I usually ask them is, well, how often do you film? And their answer might be something like, oh, once every 2 weeks or once every month. And with this approach, you will never get to a point where you will be able to create the things that you have in your mind or the visions that you have in your mind. So what I tell them is, look, you have to start practicing every day because by repeating the things, you learn them and they will become automatic. It's same like when you're learning a language or when you're learning to ride a bike. You just have to do it every day, and then the simple thing, the basic things will become automatic for you, and that will allow you to focus on the creative side of filmmaking or photography or whatever craft you do. And I took the same approach when I started 3 years ago. I moved to Sri Lanka and I was filming everything. Every day I would wake up, maybe I would film how to prepare a breakfast, then I would do a short vlog, I would film a surf video, and this way I was able to make these simple things that for a beginner might be difficult, automatic in my mind. So instead of thinking, oh, what shutter speed should I set? How should I set this camera angle? You start thinking about creative things, you know, about lighting, about the storytelling, and it will allow you to grow. So my advice is have your visions, have your videos you would like to create, the perfect ones, but also focus on the small things, focus on the everyday things where you can really practice and learn something, and over time you will see that suddenly you will be at the point where you can make those videos that you visualize happen because of this everyday practice. Tip number 2, try to include emotions in your videos. And this is a thing I see really often. People have a video which is full of cinematic stuff and transitions and cool effects, but there's no emotions. And if you think about it, we as humans are wired to connect with the things that we can relate to, which means that if you see someone laughing in a video or someone crying, or you see some human interaction, it feels familiar to you and it will make you feel something more than just seeing a beautiful image. So I think that the best approach is to combine these things, and in every video you do, try to include something emotional. This could be, let's say if you're making a travel video about going to Barcelona, you could just do a snippet of a quick sentence from someone you've met, you know, something that touched you. Or you could have a sequence where instead of just having music and effects, you might just hear the voices of people laughing when you were chilling on the beach, you know, you see the smiling faces, and this will make the viewer smile as well, and it will make him wanna watch more. So yeah, always try to include emotions because I think it's the most important thing that every video should have. And tip number 3, which is the last tip, and this is a tip I wish I knew when I started, but I didn't, to observe light. Because if you think about it, photography and filmmaking is mostly about light. And if you want to create beautiful images that look like from a Hollywood or from a cool movie, you have to focus on lighting. And you might use a natural light for this, or you might use a artificial light that you bought. but it's important to observe light every day. So you can do this when you go to school or when you are on the way to your office. Just look around and see how the light falls on objects and how it shapes them. You know, you can see the shadows, you can see the highlights, and yeah, try to explore this, because once you start seeing light around you rather than just objects, you will start noticing that your filmmaking is getting better, because you're thinking about, okay, how should I approach this subject, whether it's a person or an object? How should I approach it so it looks good in this particular light? And believe me, this is a game changer, because if you look at Hollywood movies, one thing that you notice is that all those movies are extremely well lit, and this gives it the cinematic feeling. You know, cinematic is not the thing that you see on YouTube with cool transitions and effects, but term cinematic comes from because it looks like a cinema. And in cinema, lighting is one of the most important parts. So every time you outside, going to work, studying, eating a lunch, try to observe how light falls on the objects, whether it's from the window or from a lamp, and then try applying this into your filmmaking. And there's one extra tip: backlight usually looks the best. Backlight could be, the light is behind me, but could be also from a side. If you put light from the front, everything will look flat. So just to recap those 3 tips that I just gave you, and once again I repeat, these are my tips that I use, and I hope that they will be helpful for you. Tip number 1 is to stop dreaming, start doing. Means do something in terms of filmmaking every day. Tip number 2, include emotions in your videos. This is pretty straightforward. And tip number 3 is to observe light, so you can learn how light shapes objects and how it affects your image. I hope that you like this video. Let me know in the comment section below, what would you like to know next? I will be super grateful if you hit the thumbs up button, click the notification bell, and subscribe to my channel, because I have more stuff coming, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.